Hey everyone, so I'm going to try to keep this video short. This is just a quick video on different kinds of activities you can do with your kids for learning or introducing or practicing letters and letter sounds. It can work for introducing, it can work for practicing, exploring, any of those. And the first thing I'm going to say about learning letters and learning about them and introducing them is reading. Read, 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 read. There are also some great books that can help you. This is a fabulous series that I just love. They've redone it. This is the series that my mom read to me when I was little, and then I kept the books. She gave them all to me. And they have one for every letter. They have redone them. Scholastic has a version of these books out. I haven't looked at them, so I don't know necessarily what's in them. I would think they'd be pretty similar. One thing I like about them is for the vowels, the whole of the book is the short vowel sound. And then once you get through, and they're really silly. It's a little kid named that letter A, and he goes for a walk, and he's going to fill up his box with things that have his sound and his letter sound in them. And then for the vowels, at the end of the book, they'll talk about little a can also say his name, like A in anchor. And I'll have more words with that letter at the back to introduce the idea that A says ah. This isn't to drill your kid into reading. This is introducing the letter sound and having fun with saying the words. And they have them for C and for C and I think G as well. It'll say at the back that C has another sound. It can sound like the letter S, and they'll just kind of introduce that idea. If your kid's older, go for it. You don't have to read that back section if you think it'll confuse your kiddo. And they have all kinds of, they have all the letters, and they're really cute. The same author did a bunch of number books. Now I am 2, now I am 3, and then learning about the numbers 0 to 10, or 1 to 10. They're really cute. I love more books. The Bob books are really great for older kids who are starting to put their letter sounds together. And I'll talk more about phonics in another video and learning to read. But some of them have, specific vowel sounds in them. So these have the A sound, Sam, Matt, and Mac. So I would put those in my A box. Puzzles. I really love Melissa and Doug stuff. I don't sell Melissa and Doug. I'm not a representative. If they wanted to send me free stuff to try and talk about, I totally would do it, but they don't. And what I really like about their alphabet puzzle is that, of course, it has the thing underneath it that starts with that letter sound. And X is X-ray, not xylophone. And all the vowels are short vowels. I'm missing pieces because I have 3 kids, and all 3 of them have been through this puzzle by now. Dollar Tree has puzzles. It has capital letters and lowercase letters, and that's really fun for kiddos to do too. There are phone letters. I try to find things to do that I can get for free or not pay a whole lot of money for, because not everybody has money lying around, especially right now with a lot of people being furloughed, and you're trying to come up with extra things to keep your kiddo busy and that are educational and fun. So I try to find things that I can make or print off or get from the library. Now that libraries are open again. This is a fun activity that you can do. They have the big one and the little one. Whoops, this is upside down. For each letter. And this is a fun printable I found on Pinterest. So that's a good one. An easy one, you can get a Dollar Tree coloring book and find things. So this one would be, this would be in my A box that I would do with my little guy. Another fun printable, these are wooden shape pieces that you can either print out paper versions and have them use the paper version, or you can get the set. I have a Melissa and Doug shape activity. There are little wooden blocks in these shapes that my kids love. You can print off dot stamper activities, and you can either use pom-poms or punch-ums or beans or You can use anything that's about the size of the circle to have your kiddo practice putting in there, and you can practice the letter sound. Remember that when you're doing letter sounds, you want to say the sound that the letter makes way more often than the name of the letter. You don't have to know letter names to be able to read, but you do need to know what sounds they make. So at least for every time you say the letter name, you want to say the letter sound. And there's an easy song that you can sing when you're doing these with your kids. The A says ah, 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 ah. Every letter makes a sound. The A says ah, like apple or alligator or whatever. Or B for ball or bubbles or boy or blue, or B has a lot. Q for quilt. Another fun letter thing that I have, and this can be for learning letter sounds, practicing letter sounds, or practicing matching lowercase and uppercase. These are 3x5 cards, and these pictures came from a workbook, a pre-K workbook, Morning Starters, that I got at Dollar Tree, and then glue. And then I cut them in half, and I put the lowercase letter on the other side. I did laminate them. My mom gave me a laminator that I love, and they'll last longer that way, but you don't have to laminate them. And then on the back of the lowercase letter, I wrote the uppercase and lowercase letter as like a clue if your kiddo's having a hard time matching them up. So you can play it as a matching activity or just to have an example of something that starts with that letter. I wouldn't drill your kids. I would make it as fun as possible. Other fun things that you can do with letters and letter activities. Now, a lot of franchise characters have phonics books. They're not, I wouldn't use them when you're learning to read a short, this is long O, but the short A book has lots of other sounds in it that are beyond short vowel level of reading, but they're really good for introducing that sound. And you can say, oh, let's say these words that all have O in them, or you can say them. Listen for the O sound. Blows, explode, foe, goes, and then you can read the book to them and go through it and say, listen for the O sounds. Did you hear an O word in there? Did you hear a word that had O in it? And then, of course, there are, oh, and they have Fancy Nancy, Spider-Man. They have all kinds of different characters with phonics books. So they'll introduce or focus on a short vowel sound or a long vowel sound, and that can be a lot of fun and bring in your child's interest into reading and listening for those sounds. You can find books that have one sound that repeats a lot, like llama llama red pajama. You could do in your L book, your L box. Wemberly worried would be great in your W box. Don't let the pigeon drive the bus would be good for your P box for pigeon or your B box for bus or both. It's a fun book. Or your N box for no, telling the pigeon no all the time. Play-Doh is a fabulous letter learning activity. There are a bunch of printable mats, and you would take the Play-Doh out and roll it up into a snake. You're doing fine motor, it's sensory, it's fun, and you would roll it into a snake, or you could roll it on the table into a snake, and you would make the letter that you're doing. So I made U. U says umbrella and up. So Play-Doh is a great learning activity. I got these a couple years ago. I know they still carry them at Dollar Tree. And they're really great for any kind of sensory tracing. You can put flour or salt or sand in the tray, and they can trace the letter that they're making or a shape that they're learning. These are really great for letter activities. And then this is fun stuff that doesn't require as much hand strength as Play-Doh. So if your kiddo's still working on their fine motor and hand strength, this stuff can be a lot of fun. We call it play foam. They're little foam beads. And you can get, I got a 2-pack at Dollar Tree at Easter. You can get them at TJ Maxx. You can get them all kinds of places. And and they're not expensive. So if you're paying like $15 for like a little set of 2 or 3, don't do it. Get them somewhere else. But these are great because they're easy, they're softer, they're easier to manipulate, and they do have to be done on a flat surface. But you could do the same thing. You could mold them to make a letter and talk about the letter. Older kiddos and or you can just let them play in it and talk about the colors that you see, because speech and talking is a great way to learn about language as well. But here I've made the letter U. Up, umbrella, under. Not everything has to be a noun when you're talking about your letter sounds. You can use all different kinds of words. They don't necessarily have to be an animal or a toy or something that they're familiar that they can see and touch. It can be something that they can do. When I was teaching preschool and I introduced the letter O, I turned the lights off and on. Off, on, O says, and then you can even show it to them on the light switch where it says on and off. And they really like that too. So lots of different letter activities available. Also singing songs. We did the alligator song. We did Dr. Jean's alligator song. We did the goodbye alligator song for letter A, and incorporate a food into the letter that you're talking about and introducing. Every letter has a food. Some letters like P have a bunch, like pickle and pear and papaya and a bunch of fun ones. Apples, bananas, carrots. And when I do my letter boxes, I'll tell you what food we're eating with it. Even Q has a food. So eating a food, singing songs that have that sound in it a lot. The ants go marching one by one. Apples and bananas can work for A and B. So incorporating music and songs and books and hands-on stuff that your kids can experience will do the most good and be the most beneficial when you're introducing letters and letter sounds or practicing letters and letter sounds, getting ready for kinder. All right, that's it. Letter activities done. Bye.